TM:RW, and it's designed to showcase the tech and innovation of the future.
Robots, dog robots, holograms, headphones, glasses, meta glasses. Just, it's a beautiful place to be, and I think if you're ever in Times Square, you should definitely check it out.
In this conversation on Bloomberg, Shaq explained why he decided to throw his money behind the Times Square-based store.
Well, I always invest in things that I first believe in, and things that are going to change people's lives. This is something that it's not really a lot of competition out there, and I know once people come inside the store, they will love what they see, and they will fall in love with what they see.
Stop by, and you might even see Shaq himself, or maybe even a hologram of him.
A beautiful, sexy hologram. It's a hologram, a beautiful, sexy hologram.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird.
Yo. He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves kin. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da,
Welcome to the program. Today is Monday, April 20th, 2026. I'm always curious about other people's opinions of this city. I have my opinions, you have yours. We see it from the inside, and I'm always wondering how someone who is an occasional visitor or first-time visitor views this city. We're Chicago's little brother, or maybe little sister. I don't want to be gender biased here. We're not a large city in terms of population. I noticed little things like when you watch national weather forecast. Let's say you watch the Today Show with Al Roker or whoever the meteorologist is rotating on the Today Show. And they show a map of the United States, and they will highlight the temperatures and the weather patterns of major cities in each state. They may show Massachusetts, and it'll be Boston's temperature will be 68 today. They'll show New York City will be a high of 62, very windy. Detroit, Michigan, high of 47, light rain. And then they'll show Wisconsin, and it'll be Green Bay and not Milwaukee. And then, of course, if you look at Illinois, they'll have the temperature and the weather forecast for Chicago. So we are not as nationally represented as maybe we think we are. Now, we here in this town of less than 600,000 people keep score of our national accolades. I would tell someone that we are a convention city. 2020, we hosted the Democratic National Convention. 2024, we hosted the Republican Convention. Also in that same year, 2024, Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz had their nominating convention in Chicago, but both of them took the trip up to Milwaukee to accept the nomination. So there was a crowd of people at the United Center in Chicago waiting for Kamala Harris to accept her nomination in the city of Chicago, where the Democrats had their 2024 convention. They saw Kamala Harris on a big screen because she was in Milwaukee at the Fiserv Forum. I keep track of those things. This may not mean a lot to you all, but I think it bodes well for travel and tourism in the city. We will have, I'm sure, one, probably more, Michelin star rated restaurants, which is essentially the most prestigious category of restaurant ratings that exist in the United States of America. We have several restaurants that I believe fit the bill. We won't know who and what those restaurants are until 2027. And I certainly hope and pray that whatever those restaurants are that are named to this national, if not international list of fine dining establishments in Milwaukee, I sure hope they stay open to 2027, because I've long lamented that we are at critical mass when it comes to restaurants in Milwaukee, because we've got a ton of them. And the best ones happen to be a little bit more on the expensive side, but there's a market for it because they keep opening. I said all that to say this. Very many people were at the Fiserv Forum over the past weekend on Friday night, because the Fiserv Forum hosted a national comedy tour, We Them Ones, with a half dozen or more nationally notable comedians, with the headliner being Mike Epps. Now, I didn't go to the show. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on over the weekend. I barely had enough time for myself, but I did not go to the show. But my timeline was flooded in real time about what comedian was on. People were rating the comedians in real time. It seemed that a fellow by the name of DC Young Fly is the one that brought the house down. Mike Epps was the headliner. He went on last, and he went on late. And if I was going to that comedy tour, which I was not able to attend, I would want to see Mike Epps, because I find him entertaining as a comedic actor. When he is in a role in a movie, he really brightens up a scene with his silly, almost childish kind of adolescent humor. But his stand-up, well, it can be kind of inconsistent. I've seen the last couple of stand-ups that Mike Epps has done on Netflix, and he's not that stunning as a social commentator, but he does do social commentary. That's more probably Chris Rock, with Dave Chappelle obviously being the best that has ever done it when it comes to social commentary, because there's a level of cerebral intelligence when Dave tells his jokes, even if he is offensive to some. Mike Epps said something about the city of Milwaukee that got people so angry and outrageous. So people that were at the show that were posting consistently, that was a small percentage. But once Mike Epps said what he said about the city of Milwaukee, my timeline absolutely lit up. I woke up the next morning on Saturday to see all these angry and outrageous people that were offended that Mike Epps called the city of Milwaukee dusty. Now, for those of you who don't know, dusty does not mean the literal little specks of debris that may settle on furniture and settle on hard surfaces in your home. Dusty like dirty, like filthy, like unkempt, like unclean, like disheveled, raggedy, dusty, filthy, dirty. That offended people to such a degree that they walked out of the show. Personally, I have been to more plays and live performances than I can count because I love live entertainment in all shapes and forms. And I have been disappointed by many a show. I like to say the vast majority of the shows that I've gone to at the Riverside or the Pabst Theater or the Milwaukee Theater or the Rave or Shank Hall or the Marcus Center for the Performing Arts, vast majority of them have been worth the ticket price. But there's been a couple that have sucked, but I never walk out. Even if I'm not enjoying it, because the way I look at it, I paid for this seat. I paid for a good seat. And even if the performance is lackluster and it does not meet my expectations, I'm not leaving. So apparently, a large number of people left, so much so that it was noticeable, and people were also adding that to their social media commentary. And I sat with that over the weekend. Is the perception of Milwaukee from someone who is not from here, just the occasional visitor or maybe the celebrity who's not familiar with our nationally ranked restaurants and our championship basketball teams, and if you go back far enough, a championship baseball team and some pretty stellar college athletes, which include the Marquette Golden Eagles and my alma mater, the UW Milwaukee Panthers. Some people that are here only for a little while or only just to do a show and to leave, they may not see that part. They may heed the warnings of Milwaukee. Not too long ago, LeBron James mentioned Milwaukee in an unflattering light, and people got very mad at him. He said there's two cities he doesn't like to go to, two cities he doesn't like to play in. One is Memphis, the other is Milwaukee. LeBron James' comments on those two cities certainly got my attention because about a third of my family lives in Memphis, Tennessee. In fact, Memphis was a travel and destination site for myself and my family growing up because for a lot of black folks, we're not going to Disney World, we're not going to Disneyland, we're not going out to New York to go see the Statue of Liberty. We're going on vacation where our cousins and them live. That's vacation for us. I'm very lucky that my father was born and raised in Sarasota, Florida, and my other part of my maternal family, about a third of them live in Memphis, Tennessee, both fantastic places to visit. But when LeBron James said that he doesn't want to play in Milwaukee and Memphis, I didn't get offended. I'm taking that and making it a part of my inventory of what people think of the city of Milwaukee. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I want to get your opinions on, is the city of Milwaukee, in fact, as Mike Epps described it? Now, we know all the fun things and all the fancy things because I try to cover them when I do my Milwaukee Experience segment, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. To find out all the wonderful things happening in the city of Milwaukee, go to visitmilwaukee.org. So I promote the great things where we are building or we are improving, things that exist now in this city, things that happen, different shows and concerts and pop-ups, you name it. I'll talk about that. The 3rd Street Market Hall, which is a reimagining of the Grand Avenue Mall. Let me just say this with hindsight being 2020. Putting a shopping mall in the middle of downtown, terrible idea. Awful idea. Shopping malls, just in general, bad idea. Shopping malls are for suburbs. Suburbs need those kinds of anchors. Cities and downtowns don't. Hence, the Grand Avenue Mall didn't make it, but it's been repackaged and repurposed, and here I am again 40 years later. Do casual onlookers, outsiders, and occasional visitors have it right about the city of Milwaukee and the people that were so offended by either LeBron James' comments and or Mike Epps' comments? What are you doing to clean up the dust in the city? I'm going to dive into this because I see the dust. Hell, we got to have neighborhood cleanups because of the dust. So you can't get too mad at someone coming here and saying that the visual quality of life in certain neighborhoods does need a feather duster. Now, if we're going to dust the city, I clearly would prefer someone wearing a French maid outfit, but that's just me. Take a break, come back. Was Mike Epps right? Is Milwaukee a dusty city? That's our YouTube poll for today. If you haven't done so already, and if you are so inclined, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth. Hit that subscribe button. You'll be able to view the live stream of this and all of our programs across our lineup, but also participate in our very lively YouTube chat and vote in our daily poll. Be honest, is this a dusty city? Because the whole city ain't downtown. This city is 96.1 square miles. Downtown is maybe 2-3 square miles. Is there dust in the other, 94-ish square miles of the city? I'd love to hear from you. And also, on Friday, we took, let's just say, an unconventional phone call about a potentially kidnapped child. Well, guess who reached out to me over the weekend? The aunt of the child that the mother dropped the 7-year-old child off with. Guess who else I heard from? I heard from the daddy. The daddy reached out to me and said, Sherwin, they got it wrong. I'm the daddy. That's my boy. That's my 7-year-old boy that they called you about, my baby mama and her mama called you about on Friday. He's like, Sherwin, I want to speak my piece. I said, come on and speak it, brother. So the father of the 7-year-old, who's clearly not kidnapped, is supposed to be calling in at 9:30. He said he was going to, I want to hear the story. Now, he tried to explain it to me via Instagram. I'm like, hold on, brother. No. Don't tell me. Tell us. So we going to see if the brother calls in, the one that was accused of kidnapping his own son and taking him to Texas. So we're looking forward to hopefully hearing from that individual at 9:30. But the question of the day, the question on the floor is Milwaukee a dusty city? Do we have some cleaning up to do? I mean, don't answer that because we just had a Tory Lowe cleanup over the weekend. But aside from that, do people have it right? Does LeBron James have it right when he says he doesn't want to play in Memphis, he doesn't want to play in Milwaukee? Is there something about this city that we are failing to see? And when somebody reflects that dust back to us, why do we get offended? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
You don't want to be there. You don't like the work. You don't like the people. Now, there are some differences. The only difference is modern American slavery and capitalism versus 19th century. We were dramatically more primitive back then. And a slave that is able to buy their freedom is the same as the disaffected, disgruntled worker that is able to buy their way into entrepreneurship because that for them is freedom.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not voting in the poll. Not yet. Because I'm not sure if this is or is not a dusty city. I know that I am very limited in where I go and what I do just because I don't want to deal with trouble. I don't want to deal with the headache. And I'm not saying that it's guaranteed that I'm going to deal with trouble and headache, but I'm too old. I like to think of myself as a little bit more sophisticated and very discriminating with where I spend my money because I need three things. I need good product, good price, good service. I'm not one of those who's trying to pretend to be so socially righteous, like, oh, I only support black-owned businesses. I couldn't if I wanted to because black people simply don't sell everything that I need. They don't offer every atmosphere that my mood may dictate. Now, hold on now. But if a business has good product, good service, and good price, absolutely. But you are competing with every other business that also has good product, good service, and good price. And you happen to be black-owned, super. But let me be clear about this, too. I'll go to a gay, transgender, biracial, Jewish, amputee, diabetic, Democratic socialist, but voted for Trump. Uses a lot of profanity and smokes Newports. I'll shop at their establishment. Whatever your ethnicity is, if you got good product, good service, and good price, I'm in there. We can talk gay marriage all day long. Talk about whatever you want to. If you got good product, good service, and good price, I don't care. So I don't fall into the trap of like, oh, I got to support black-owned businesses. And I think that we use it in a way where black-owned businesses are of such low quality and caliber that they cannot compete unless they get money essentially from charity. During the whole George Floyd debacle, a lot of white folks would say, Sherwin, what black-owned businesses should I support? Because I feel bad that I was wrong about all of the times I call black people liars about police brutality. I saw George Floyd get snuffed out. Now I feel bad. Now I want to shop at a black-owned business. Which one should I go to? I said, with that attitude, don't go to any. Just give a black person some money. Because don't we treat it like a charity? Like, oh, I'm going to go to a black-owned business. Okay, cool. If the black-owned business has what you want, it's in the geographic area where you don't have to drive too far. And that's my other thing. I'm not driving far for nothing. Most days I drive 10 miles or less. And some days I'm like, so I drove pretty far today. I don't treat black-owned businesses like charities, because if that's the case, then just adopt one of their kids and send one of their kids to college. Like, oh, I want to support a black-owned business. You're basically saying that black-owned businesses are lackluster, and they don't even care about the product. That's the part that bothers me, because they'll shop at a black-owned business, now be thrilled with whatever it is that they bought, complain about the quality, but still feel like they did a good deed. No, you didn't, because you're never going back to shop there again. It's rare for a business to stay and remain profitable now and into the future if someone just goes there one time. Because then you just need a whole bunch of new. If they don't have returning customers, they're not going to be profitable. Let me get back to the point. Is this a dusty city? 88% of you say it is. That's awful. It's dusty then. It's raggedy. It's beat up. What are you all looking at? Are you looking at the just overall condition of the city? Are you looking at the social climate? Are you looking at poor educational outcomes? I am curious as to what the dust consists of. I owe you guys an apology because I said something on social media that warrants certainly more clarification. Between Mike Epps saying the city is dusty and then a bunch of people walked out of the comedy show that was at the Fiserv Forum where he was the headliner on Friday. The other commentary that I see very frequently is people complaining about the potholes. Now, I said something that I probably shouldn't have said because I'm limited in the routes that I take when I go where I'm trying to get to. I said, attentive drivers don't hit potholes because they're paying attention to the road. Put your phone down, pay attention to the road. Because the way I see it, because a pothole, let's say a big one is 6 by 10 inches. There's some that's way bigger than that. I saw some. But if there's a 6 by 10, an 8 by 10, a 12 by 10 inch piece of wood in the road with nails sticking out of it, okay? Let's say that there is an obstacle in the road that could do great damage to your vehicle, damage to the underbody, and damage to your very expensive tires. You would avoid it, yeah? So why can't you avoid the potholes? Now, the places that I go and where I travel, because I don't take new routes very often, because I pretty much go to the same places all the time, and I take the exact same way. Mostly because I know where the potholes are on that route, because I take that route so much that I can drive a lot of those routes in my sleep. And so I don't see very many potholes. Or if I do see them, I know to avoid them because I'm so familiar with where those potholes are. Boy, I was on 76th Street yesterday. So I got another one for you. Appleton Avenue between Capitol and 76. Whew! But worse than that, 76th Street between Appleton and Hampton, oh, you're going to die. And at that moment, it's a small strip. It's maybe a quarter mile, give or take, from Appleton, where you hop on 76th Street. I'm northbound on 76. Once I got on 76th Street, I'm playing whack-a-mole. I'm dipping and dodging and bobbing and weaving. The Tesla looked like Muhammad Ali. I was floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee. Those potholes are monstrous. Now I get it. So does that add to the dust? We had recent flooding. We are going to have more. People found out like fairly recently probably since the last flood. When Montreal Kane started filming himself cleaning out the sewer grates and watching the water drain down. Now a bunch of people are doing it. Like that whole thing went viral because nobody was cleaning out sewer grates in previous floods. We never even thought about that. But they are clogged with debris. Sometimes it's leaves and it's sticks because it was really unusual last fall because before the city could sweep up all of the leaves. I don't even know why you guys are putting your leaves in the curb anyway. Leave the leaves in the grass because it mulches the grass real good. It aerates the grass. You ain't supposed to rake the leaves. It's good for the grass because the leaves get into the soil and the dirt and they make more soil and dirt. I stopped raking my leaves to the curb 20 years ago. First of all, because I don't want to. Second of all, I only got one tree in my yard. We got our first snowfall before the city could finish all of its collections of the leaves because every fall there are designated dates in which you can rake your leaves to the curb. It's a bad idea just in general because they're going to clog the gutters. And what happened was we had these huge piles of leaves and then we got measurable snow. So once the snow plows are out and we put the snow plows on the garbage trucks, they weren't able to remove the leaves. And so we had double the debris. But a lot of what clogs our sewer grates in certain parts of the city is people just being reckless with their garbage and just throwing stuff onto the ground. And then people have the nerve to say, the city's not doing their job and coming here and cleaning out the sewer grate. The sewer grate is in front of your house. You know what we would need to clean this city up to make it less dusty? If everyone who owns or rents in the city of Milwaukee, especially in certain neighborhoods, if you just clean up the garbage literally in front of your house and in your alley, city would be spotless. Do you know that? If you just cleaned up what's in front of your house, I know you didn't put the garbage there, I know, but why do we expect the city of Milwaukee to be responsible for the probably thousands of sewer grates when you can just go out there, oh, look, a Frito-Lay bag. Look, some hot Cheetos. Oh, someone was eating blue Takis. Pick the stuff up, and guess what'll happen? Your basement very well may not flood. Can you imagine that? And the fact that people won't do that, that's simple. You could be saving yourself headache, heartbreak, mold, mildew, and thousands of dollars worth of damage that you're not insured for by taking the smallest bit of responsibility. The smallest bit of responsibility. If you don't want your basement to flood, and I'd imagine most of you don't. Now, I'm not saying some basements aren't going to flood because some of y'all are very much in a flood plain or a flood basin, but the fact that we expect the city, because that was most of the commentary. How come the city ain't out here doing their job? How come you're not doing yours? We have forsaken the idea of community. City can't do everything, nor should we want them to. City's not coming out here and cleaning up. Grown people are expecting the city of Milwaukee to be mommy and daddy cleaning up their room for them. I knew better. Look, it was discipline in my house I grew up in. If I didn't clean my room, especially as a teenager, because here's the thing, when my mother walked into my room, my mother likes to keep a clean house. God bless her. You may walk into my room, especially teenage Sherwin, it looks like a disaster. It does, in fact, look like a tornado and a flood and a hurricane all came through my teenage room at the same time. It looks messy to you, but I know where everything is. To me, organized chaos. But I knew that if my room was not clean, and if my mother had to clean it, because she's doing laundry, she'd want to make sure she get all my laundry, you see. But if my mother had to clean my room, big red flag, because she wasn't just going to clean my room for her health. She was going to snoop. You do not want a black woman snooping. Ever. Your car, your room, your phone. So I knew that's my responsibility to clean my room. I can't be like, Mama, Daddy, you pay the mortgage, you put food on the table, you buy me clothes, you give me money when I need it. You also clean my room. No, you got to have some skin in the game now. If the city of Milwaukee is dusty, aren't we dusty too? Aren't we some dusty people that expect somebody to come and clean up after us? So I don't fault or shame Mike Epps when he says the city was dusty, but some of y'all who add to the dust are the ones that got offended. I think you got triggered because only a hit dog will holler. If somebody comes in from out of town, a star, a comedian, whomever, and they have negative remarks about the city of Milwaukee, you know what's crazy? They're probably right, but I want to hear more. Now tell me more about how you think the city of Milwaukee is busted up, broken, and dusty, and riddled with crime and bullets. I want to hear more about that because the perception that other people have of us, that's reality. The perception that we have of one another might be more of a dream. Take a break, come back, continue our chit chat. We're broadcasting from dusty Milwaukee, actually, right here at the 3rd Street Market Hall, where it's not dusty in here. We got a great cleaning crew, actually. They're all Mexican. They are. They're very nice people.
I see them at nighttime.
Yeah, they're timid. They're shy. Because they don't expect to see me here sometimes. Oh, no, Maria, you're fine. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. No, Maria. I caught one of them sleeping once, and I felt so bad. I felt horrible.
What'd you say?
I apologized to her. So I had a friend in from town, from California, who I haven't seen in probably 20 years, and we had dinner nearby. I was like, hey, man, let's take a walk to the 3rd Street Market Hall, because last time he was in this place, it was the Grand Avenue. I was like, oh, man, you got to see what they did to the 3rd Street Market Hall. So he's like, oh, yeah, let's go. So I came and gave him the short version of the tour. And then I showed him the room in which I have a show prep room, and I showed him the show. It's real. It's tucked away. Don't nobody know where I prep for my show. There's little tuck away rooms all over this joint. So we went into my little show prep room. I wanted to show him where I prepared for my show, and there was Maria sitting on a real comfortable chair, taking the load off. And we turned the lights on. She's like, oh. I said, oh, no. I screamed. She screamed. My friends screamed. We're all screaming. Because we didn't expect nobody to be in there because there's a gigantic pillar. And you can't see behind the pillar. And she was tucked away neatly behind the pillar. She was getting her nap on. She was snoring in Spanish. She was I don't care. I don't mind. I know this is probably her 3rd job. And we walked in, turned the lights on. She screamed, I screamed, we all screamed. Because we didn't expect to see a Mexican lady. Well, actually, we expected to see a Mexican lady cleaning, but not in my show prep room. And she, we're all screaming. I was like, no, we're sorry. I apologized to her. And then she ran out. I'm like, I ain't no snitch. Go ahead, Maria. I wanted her to go back and finish her nap. But now that I think about it, I'm telling it on the radio, I kind of am snitching. All right, let me take a break before I get more Mexicans in trouble. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Our question of the day, is Milwaukee a dusty city? And what are you doing to help clean up the dust? Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hi, I'm Greg Fritsch, president of the Center for Veterans Issues, inviting you to get involved in supporting the CVI mission. The Center for Veterans Issues is proud to serve veterans across Wisconsin. Each year, we help more than 1,200 veterans stay housed, find meaningful employment, and connect with the support they've earned. From housing assistance and job training to case management and suicide prevention outreach, our team is here to help veterans build stable, independent lives. If you're a veteran in need of support, visit cvivet.org. Donations can also be accepted at cvivet.org/donate.
Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Well, guess Milwaukee is a dusty city. 80%. That's awful. Okay, fine. Let's use this as an opportunity to undust, maybe. How do you define it? Is it social behavior? Is it the general lack of cleanliness? It certainly depends on where you go. On Fridays, I treat myself because, damn it, I'm all about self-care. These weeks of talking to y'all, which I love, don't get me wrong, but it makes for a long week sometimes because I got to find interesting and compelling and somewhat entertaining things to talk about for 3 hours a day, which generally isn't a problem because we always have Trump. But I take myself out to lunch on Fridays, and I have a fish fry spot. No, I'm not going to tell you. It's not crowded, and I appreciate that because I don't want to see people. And people have tried to get it out of me. Oh, sure, because I post pictures. If you don't recognize it from the pictures, you don't need to know where it is now. Those that know, know. Those of you that don't, too bad. And it's never very crowded, and I like it that way because it's just very quiet. I can get a table to myself with a beautiful view. And then people try to, scare me into telling them, Sherwin, the place is never crowded. If you don't tell us where it is, we can't support it. It might go out of business. No, it's not. They're just not known for their fish fry. They're known for other things that I'm not going to mention because once you find out about the other things it's known for, you're going to go there for that. And because this city is so damn dusty, I don't want the dust coming to my spot. I'm sorry, I love y'all, but some of y'all bring dust now. I got a dust story or two. It's when Milwaukee will have a gym. Maybe it's a little lounge, little bar, little nightclub. Maybe it's an hour and a half, 2 hour long Milwaukee River boat cruise that used to be $5, and you get to cruise up and down the Milwaukee River looking at all the beautiful architecture and go out to Lake Michigan, and there's a hip-hop DJ that plays, and it was an older, more mature, very relaxed crowd that used to be on the MKE boat line. But then somebody told somebody else, and then a bunch of y'all's cousins, nieces, and nephews came, and within 2 weeks, people were being rude, being disrespectful, treating the staff like crap, throwing stuff overboard, and smoking blunts on this beautiful hip-hop boat cruise, and it got ruined. Then they had to change the damn format of it, so no longer $5, now it's $15, and they had to change it to Yacht Rock. The dusty ones will ruin, so I don't tell nobody where I go. So after my lunch that I took myself out to on Friday because I deserved it, and plus I had my stress tests last week, I come to find out that 97.583468% of you don't know what a stress test is. I had some blood work done that day, and the phlebotomist was like, "Oh, how are you?" I was like, "Oh, I had my stress test today." She was like, "Why are you stressed?" I'm like, "You don't know what it is either, and you work in healthcare?" The stress test is when they put you on a treadmill. They do MRI pictures of your heart and all the valves and all of the veins and arteries in your heart, and they put you on a treadmill, and they try and get your heart rate up to a certain level, and they measure if you have any blockages in your arteries. That's what a stress test is. It has nothing to do with how stressed I am. So I took myself out to lunch, and after lunch, I was surprisingly motivated. Oh, I got to answer the phone. Hang on a second.
Because I deserve it.
Hi.
I'm supposed to have my stress test.
Hello, good morning.
Who's this?
This Lisa. I'd like to make a comment to Sherwin.
Oh. It's not who I wanted to hear from. She can sit. She can chill. I took a walk around Lakeshore State Park. I'm not kidding, and I'm not exaggerating. No hyperbole here. That is one of the most beautiful, pristine public spaces. And I've been all over Wisconsin. I've seen the bluffs up near Eau Claire. I've been out to La Crosse. I've been to Vilas County. I've been to Woodruff. I've been to Minocqua. I've been all over this state. Wisconsin's a very, very beautiful state. Pristine forests, crystal clear lakes. Beautiful. Architecture is beautiful. The landscape, the geography in certain parts, north and east and north and west, absolutely gorgeous. There is nothing like that view you get at Lakeshore State Park because you have Summerfest, the Northwestern Mutual Tower, the Discovery World Museum, and then way off in the distance, sitting essentially on a cliff on a bluff, you have Columbia St. Mary's Hospital. It's just so beautiful. Not a speck of garbage anywhere. You know what you got out there? A bunch of white people walking and jogging. I was like, look at the whites getting healthy. And when you have that perception of the city, there's no dust to be found. And then it makes me think, why can't every neighborhood look as beautiful as Lakeshore State Park? And then when I ask that question, which is usually rhetorical, when I ask that question, all I get is excuses. Well, because the people... No. There's no excuse. None. We treat grown adults in this city like they're babies, like somebody needs to clean up after them because they are not mature and disciplined enough to clean up after themselves. I'm going to pause this discussion for a little bit because you know the situation on Friday where we had a distraught mother and grandmother call in telling us that their 7-year-old son and grandson had been kidnapped. Stolen. Somebody stole a baby. We don't like when people steal babies now. And a daddy stole a baby and went to Texas. Who do we have? Do we have the father?
It sounds like it's the aunt.
Okay, the aunt and then Lisa's. Lisa, you're going to have to just sit there forever. So, okay, we're going to take a break, come back. We're going to talk to the aunt. And the aunt is who the mother dropped the 7-year-old off with. Then the father, who was non-custodial but biological, came and got his son and took his son to Texas. I bet you they're having a good time in Texas. They're going to hodags and rodeos. Beyonce's in Texas. They're probably having a good old time. So we're going to talk to the aunt on the other side. She's going to give us the father's version of the story. I hope. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, which helps find missing children. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
I won tickets last week on your show to see The Wiz. I just wanted to call and say thank you and say I appreciate you. I appreciate the show. I appreciate the station. That was a core memory that was made last night. The Wiz was an amazing performance.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th at Franklin Field, featuring live performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. There will be craft margaritas, Milwaukee's best taco vendors, authentic lucha libre wrestling, an exotic car showcase, a Chihuahua beauty patch, art installations, and so much more. Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th. Get your tickets at tacoandtequilafestival.com.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On the line, we have Marquita. Good morning, Marquita. How are you?
I'm well, honey. How are you?
I'm doing well. So as we understand it, because we got a very unusual phone call on Friday, a distraught grandmother called us and said, Sherwin, you got to help us. I said, I'll do whatever I can. This lady says, my grandbaby has been kidnapped and taken to Texas, and the mother was in the background on the phone with the police. And I found it very unusual, Marquita, that usually when you report a child missing, especially if you know the child has been taken across state lines, Amber alerts go off, the police start dispatching resources, and the people on the ground in Texas get activated. But for some reason, none of that was going on. So you were the aunt that the 7-year-old boy was dropped off with. Is that correct?
Actually, he was not dropped off to me. 2 months ago, my brother and I have another sister that lives in Texas. 2 months ago, my sister called me crying, asking me to go pick my nephew up because his mom said she was going to leave him at a McDonald's. This was at 11 o'clock p.m. So my husband and I got up and went and picked my nephew up from her on 29th and Bond.
And you said this was 2 months ago?
Correct. I've had my nephew for 2 months.
She made it seem like the boy just disappeared.
No, I had my nephew since the middle of February.
All right. In the last 2 months, what has the mother and or the grandmother of your nephew? What have they done to try and get him back to Milwaukee? Have they called the authorities? Have they called Child Protective Service?
No, my nephew just left Milwaukee Friday, so he's been in my care for the last 2 months.
Are you in Milwaukee? Oh, that's right.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so where's the 7-year-old now? He's in Texas.
He's in Texas with his father.
Okay. Since he has been in Texas, I'd imagine, well, we know the mother and the grandmother are highly upset. Have they contacted you?
Yes, the mother did reach out after she found out my nephew was gone to Texas. However, she said she was going to press charges and everything. But the whole matter of the situation is, before my brother even came up here to get his son, my brother did everything he was supposed to do. He called up here, spoke with detectives to make sure that he could come and get his child because the mom is homeless. The mom said that her mother wouldn't let my nephew live there. She had nowhere to go, so she was sleeping in parks and trying to get money for a hotel to have her somewhere to stay. That's why my nephew was with me these last 2 months. My brother didn't like that. He told her, he even has his messages of him telling her, I'll come get him so you can get yourself together. You can focus on you. I'm not taking him away from you. Do what you need to do. Get some stable housing, and I'll bring him right back to you. So it's not like my brother is just taking him away from his mom or anything like that.
The child hadn't even been with the mother for 2 months because the child was staying with you because the mom is homeless.
Correct.
Why doesn't the mother stay with the grandmother? Because the grandmother's the one that called us originally. I'm assuming the grandmother has a house.
The grandmother does have a house, but the grandmother put them out.
Put out her daughter and her grandbaby.
Correct. I have those messages as well. She said her mother would not let her and her children stay there. I told her I will get my nephew. She has a 17-year-old son. She said she will figure it out for them too. She said her mom always puts them out. That's why I was confused on why the grandmother called in, because it got to a point where my nephew didn't even have any clothes, and her mom wouldn't let her go get any of his clothes from her house. So you can't be that concerned when your grandchild has nowhere to go.
Is your brother paying, or is he ordered to pay child support? And I wonder if that child support has stopped.
I'm not sure if he's paying it, but it is court ordered for him to pay child support.
Okay.
When my brother called up here before he came and got my nephew, the detective said, since there's no they don't have any placement or anything like that, so it was no problem with my brother coming to get my nephew. The same way my brother came and got my nephew is the same way because she used to live in Texas with my brother, with their son. She up and left and brought my nephew back to Milwaukee. So it's like, it's okay for you to do it, but when my brother does it, it's an issue. The only reason you don't want my brother down there, the only reason you don't want my nephew down there with my brother is because my brother is in a relationship and he has another child on the way.
So that was also brought up by either, I think maybe both, the grandmother and the mother, because they use, let's just say, an unflattering term for your brother's new girlfriend, and they didn't want the grandbaby, the son, the 7-year-old to be down there in that house with that new woman, and they used a word that I'm not going to use on the radio, so they had some concerns. But can you imagine us hearing that story from a mother, from a distraught grandmother, that a child had been kidnapped? Obviously, we were very concerned, but I also knew that something wasn't quite right, because as I'm asking them probing questions, they had a bunch of holes in their story. There was a bunch of questions that they couldn't answer, so I'm glad that you and both your brother reached out to me to clear this up, because now we can sleep a little easier. Have you heard from your nephew? Is he doing okay?
Absolutely. I speak with them every day. He's down in Texas with the rest of his siblings. He's happy.
Marquita, thank you so much for clearing this up for us because, as you can imagine, we were a little bit panicked. Now, whenever a child goes missing, we have to take that very seriously. But thank you for clearing it up and sharing the story. And I hope your nephew meets Beyonce while he's down there in Texas or has a good time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. You all have a great day.
All right. You too, Marquita. Well, there you go. My mama's homeless. Why do y'all call me with that? Don't do that. Gonna call me and be, oh, my baby's been kidnapped. Kidnapped from where? A park bench? I don't know what you're gonna add to the story, Lisa. But I'm giving you 2 minutes because you've held on for 14. Lisa going once.
Are you there? I thought I was still holding on. Okay. Listening to the Auntie, I had, answer, comment on the other topic you were speaking of. But listening to the Auntie, thank you. Thank you for taking in your nephew, picking him up, taking him in for 2 months. As for the grandmother, I don't know why you kicked him out, but it was probably, under your house. You could do whatever you want to. But grandmother, you are wrong. Now, I've told my niece, look, you can walk out the door, skip out the door. I don't care. But you leaving my granny baby here, my granny's here. You could do whatever you want to do. Oh, you ain't got to worry about her. Because she's going to be fed. She's going to be taken care of. Go to school every day. Just the same way I raised you, I'm going to raise her. Now, you can skip out the door all day long and handle your business, baby. Do you. When you're ready to come back and get her, you can come back and get her. It depends on how you're doing, though. As for the father, thank you. Thank you for being the man that you are. Thank you. And going back earlier to what you were saying, Sherwin, yes, Milwaukee is dusty. They come in, you got to realize they come in for what they see. When they come in off the highway, what are they looking at? They're only here, they're on the highway for a few, getting off for a few seconds. If they say, well, I want to go somewhere, what's open? I want to go somewhere with some good hot chicken and greens and macaroni. Just guess what they got to drive through. If we got to drive through it, if limousine driver or whoever.
Lisa, I'm going to have you hold that thought because I got to take a break. But most of the time when they're driving in from the airport, coming right to downtown. They don't see no dust at all. Right. I need you to hold that thought because the truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join the Milwaukee County Office of Equity on Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. for the Story of Wealth exhibition at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Discover how policies have shaped financial opportunities in Milwaukee. Hear from a powerful panel, including Michelle Bryant, Claiborne Benson, Deborah Blanks, Kirk Harris, with keynote speaker James J.B. Bell. This event is free to attend, with food provided, door prizes, and great music. So make sure to get there early. Coming with straight truth.
Did you go along with this? Did you plot this out? Did you go into the store with the intentions of causing a negative situation? This is the part that people don't like once they get into court after they get caught. Now, should he be executed for killing somebody he didn't do? I don't think so. He's already serving life. He's going to die in prison. I think that's what's going to happen. At the same time, this is a message to the younger folks.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
You've been diagnosed with COPD, but breathing seems to be getting harder. Everyday activities, walking to the mailbox, going up the stairs, talking on the phone take more effort than they used to. You're short of breath more often. Flare-ups are happening more frequently. And slowly, life starts to feel smaller. Is this you? If your COPD symptoms are getting worse, there may be options that can help you breathe easier and get back to doing more of what matters to you. That could mean walking further, spending more time with family and friends, feeling more confident leaving the house, and getting back to the life you want to live. If your COPD is changing, it's time to have a conversation with your doctor. Visit the COPD Foundation website at isthisyoucopd.org to learn the signs of severe and worsening COPD and the right questions to ask next. Take action today. Breathe better tomorrow.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
You're listening to the new 101.7 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We solved the mystery. We found a 7-year-old baby. They're in Texas with their father because their mother is homeless. So it all worked out. Thank you, sir. So you know it's bad news when I got my papers in my hand, because then when I get all animated and frazzled and frustrated, I get to rattling my papers around. And I shouldn't do that because I got to read from these papers. Let's finish with Lisa. Lisa, we got another call that's on hold, so I'm going to let you wrap up.
Okay. As I was saying, when you go on and off these highways, they are the filthiest. Filthiest. Now, when you, say he go, get whoever the driver is, get off that downtown exit and go, to that, he wants them to eat, Mike Epps, and go to the restaurant right there by the Greyhound station, right out on the corner.
Why would Mike Epps go to a damn restaurant by the Greyhound station? And when you exit,
I'm just saying,
if you're coming from the airport, if you're exiting downtown, you're taking 794 East, there's no trash to be found. If you're on 794 from the airport.
The exit before that, I'm sure what I'm saying. It's like, if you wanted to go to that, just say you want to go get something to eat and then go to that BP on fixing the accent.
Why is Mike Epps going to a BP? This is a multi-million. I think he has a Grammy. He's not going to the BP on 6th Street.
Sherwin, oh my God. Just because you a Grammy.
I had to hang up on her because she just, if Mike Epps going to the Greyhound station to get something out the vending machine, that's not where he's going. His managers, his security aren't taking him to any of those places. I think Mike Epps was making a comment on the culture that is broadcast about Milwaukee, because I assure you, when we had our teen takeovers a couple of weeks ago, that's probably what he was talking about, because that stuff makes national news. Think about what we make national news for. It's not good stuff. People still think of Milwaukee as Laverne Shirley, Happy Days, beer, cheese, brats, and Dahmer. That's dusty. We're 2 generations from people making beer in this city. Why we're still considered the beer capital of the world, I got no idea. We're not even the microbrewery capital of the world. And all microbreweries have turned into are just like doggy daycare. There's a bunch of bearded white guys with puppies, and they bring their puppies to the microbreweries, which is disgusting. Listen, I understand you guys love your pets, but chill out. Relax on bringing your pets and putting them in the carts at grocery stores. Relax on that. That's not a person. It's not a human. It's a beast with teeth. Let's talk to the town. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. What's on your mind?
First off, I guess you can say they don't make grandmas the way they used to. Because, kicking out the grandbaby, huh? That's what we're doing. Kicking out the grandbabies. That's messed up.
Well, before you go on, before you proceed, we don't know what that 7-year-old mama was doing, what she was into, who she was bringing to the grandmama's house. Now, legally, the grandmother cannot kick the daughter out and then keep the 7-year-old. You can think of some horrible things. Like the grandmama could have said, look, don't be doing this in my house. Don't be bringing certain people to my house. I got rules here. And if the daughter, whether the daughter has a 7-year-old or not, if the adult mother of that 7-year-old is violating the rules of the house, both of y'all got to go. I can see that. What if she was doing dope, bringing dope dealers? What if the house got shot up before? What if the grandmama's car got broken into? What if the grandmama's car got stolen? What if the daughter stole the grandmama's car? Well, I think we fail to see how bad some daughters can actually be. And you would think that having a 7-year-old, the daughter might be a little bit more responsible, but I could see a grandmama saying, I got rules up in Chum. What if the daughter almost got the grandmama evicted?
No. That's cool, but you know, grandmoms always find a way, and they always find a good way for them babies. Real grandmas. Now, you know, we can, you know what I'm saying? Now we can go back and forth about the, the legality of things, but kicking out your grandbaby, grandmoms, G-mama, no, come on, man, that ain't cool. But what I really want to talk about is that poll, 80% think Milwaukee is dusty. Like, come on, man. All right, let's talk about Mike Epps and do some comparison. Milwaukee versus Gary. Man, go on with that mess, man. Go on with y'all. Don't even pay y'all bills up in Gary, man.
LaTon, why can't we just keep it about somebody's perception of this city? Because there's a whole bunch of cities that we know are way worse than Milwaukee, but Milwaukee is a relatively small town.
I know, but we're talking about.
We're using a non sequitur kind of argument. Like, oh yeah, well look where you're from. No, he was talking about Milwaukee, and 80% of the people that live here, I'm assuming, that are commenting on the poll, they think it's dusty too. Meaning Mike Epps wasn't that wrong. But let's not say, oh, he probably would admit that his town is dusty too.
I think that, well, you keep talking about your town. Don't talk about nobody else's town. And the 80% that said that, maybe y'all need to get in front and clean up your house. Maybe y'all need to clean up what's in the garbage in front of your house and clean out y'all gutters or what, not like that. Because to say it's a dusty town, man, like homeowner, I'm a homeowner. So, you know what I'm saying? I keep mine nice, and I keep mine where my I make sure that my neighbors is nice. Mm-hmm. Like, so if I shovel the snow, and if I, you know what I'm saying, I got like some all white folks right next to me or whatever like that. If they don't come out, I help them with their stuff. You know, sometimes if I don't feel like doing it, I come out and I'm prepared to shovel, and then I'll be like, oh, it's already snow plowed. That's great. We're cleaning our stuff.
You're doing what you're supposed to do, and we appreciate that. But why would somebody like Mike Epps, who is there to get jokes and to trigger people, why would his comments on this city make you upset? That was his perception of the city. I'd imagine you probably been to other cities where it was gross and dirty, and your car might have got. If I go to another city, with Milwaukee being dusty, parts of it, and if I go to another city, I'm not going to say, wow, I'm not going to say anything negative about this city because Milwaukee sure is in bad shape too. That ain't how it goes. If you went to another city and you saw garbage and trash and homeless people all over the place and buildings in disrepair and boarded up buildings, you would say that city was dusty too.
Bro said that we don't have a Whole Foods. He said we so dusty and we so broke that we don't even have a Whole Foods. Like, you going out, and then LeBron too. LeBron too. Like, cuz, like, you way too big to be talking about people like that. I don't. Just me. I don't like that. I don't like that when you be trying to, you know what I'm saying, disrespect somebody else's town or whatever like that though. And your business is to go out there and say public comments or whatever like that. It just doesn't feel right for me because. Fool, you don't stay here. You don't know what's going on. Like you said before, you just going off of what you see on TV.
Where would you, if you're from like a big city and you've been to big cities before, you've been to New York and L.A. and Philly and wherever. Those places, those cities have spots where rich black people can go hang out and feel comfortable. Where would you recommend a rich, high-class black person go in the city of Milwaukee where they can feel comfortable and be around their own people? Where do rich black folks hang out at? What would you recommend?
Rich black folks? You know what? That's a good question. I was discussing this and I was hold on, let me finish. I was discussing this with my cousin the other day. And on that part, I feel that you're right. I think there is a dearth of places where rich, well-to-do black people can go. You got me on that one though. But to say that they don't have that makes the city dusty.
I was just giving one example.
That don't sound right.
Somebody like LeBron could not feel comfortable here. Mike Epps should be comfortable anywhere. But I think he said it to trigger people, and it worked because people they were leaving. Did you go to the show, or did you just heard about it?
No, I heard about how they treated Mike Epps. I heard how they treated Day-Day. I mean, like, come on. I mean, what would you if somebody came into your house and said that your house was dusty? What you supposed to feel? Oh, let them talk about me. Okay.
Because you got to keep in mind, Mike Epps, he got paid already. So people paid to see him. Mike got his check. He already got his bag. He came here and he talked mess about Milwaukee. So when he leaves, yeah, people are mad at him or whatever, but he still collected his money. If I pay money for someone to come to my house and they criticize my house, then I'm the fool. Because I bought a ticket to go see him. I'm paying somebody to come to my house, to come to my venue. They're walking out with a pocket full of money, and I'm over here thinking about how dusty my city is. But maybe he's right. But I'm not sure why we get so offended by it, because 90% of what we talk about on this program is how screwed up Milwaukee is. The crime, the car thefts, the teen takeovers. 90% of our kids can't read. Brother, that's dust. Now, we just don't like when somebody else says it.
Maybe when we own these public platforms, these public bullhorns that everybody can hear, maybe we should talk about the good stuff in Milwaukee sometimes instead of all the time talking about the bad stuff. And if you want to go that route, I got an issue with your whole station when it comes to that. But that's another story. We was talking about Mike Epps because at least y'all stay here. At least y'all stay here. I mean, I don't like that either, but, y'all here. But somebody outside come in and talking stuff, and then y'all take it, that's Buster.
All right. Well,
that's some straight Buster behavior.
I can talk about my sister because she's my sister, but if somebody else talks about my sister, I'll get offended. So that makes sense. We got pride in our little city. I got to go the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't like nobody talking about you except me talking about you. Peace.
Exactly. See there? That's right. I can talk about Sherwin. But if somebody else does, we talk about the dust. I'm not here I'm not one of those people, oh, Milwaukee has really beautiful and wonderful things. I have segments where I talk about the great parts of the city, but we also have a cancer. And I don't want to ignore the cancer and pretend like it's not there. You are never going to hear an overly rosy picture about the city of Milwaukee from me. Now, there'll be times, depending upon when you're listening and what my mood is, I might be more optimistic about the city. We don't clean up. We don't look after one another. We sure enough don't vote. That's dust, too. And if somebody notices the reduced parts of our town, we've noticed them, too. I think that should be a call to action. Not that we need to prove somebody like Mike Epps right or wrong, but we know exactly what's wrong with this city. You know what? I can survey people again, and maybe we'll figure out a way to do it on a future show. What neighborhoods will you never go in? What? No. It's some places some of y'all will never go, especially women. Ladies, what neighborhood would you never go in at night? And I know that there's at least one, probably three, probably five. Hell, there's whole zip codes that some of y'all won't go in. You want to know why? Dust. There's a song called Dust in the Wind. I think I'm going to play it. Take a break, come back. Going to take a couple more telephone calls and read your text messages at 833 833-212-1017. You can text or call 833-212-1017. The question is, was Mike Epps right? Is this a dusty city? We asked the question on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, go subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching 1017 The Truth. With 74 people have voted, and we still got another hour and 45 minutes of show left. So 74 people have voted, and 78% say, yep, all we are is dust in the wind. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. All your favorite interviews and best moments live in one place.
We don't feel the same. And I just told them that if they would just do an interview and let our leaders know, because Tory Lowe, Sherwin Hughes, Elizabeth Brown, 101.7 The Truth is Milwaukee's Black Talk.
Download the new 1017 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 The Truth.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
Brunch plans? Happy hour plans? Either way, get loaded. At Loaded Spud, we turn the classic baked potato into a full-on flavor experience. Swing through for brunch favorites like shrimp and grits and chicken and waffles, then come back after work for happy hour in our loaded bowls, paired with cold drinks and a laid-back vibe. Enjoy happy hour from 4 until 10 p.m. with special prices on loaded potato favorites and drinks. Bring your friends and get your Spud on. Big portions, big flavor, no ordinary bar food. There's always a good time to get loaded. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at letsgetloaded.online.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Y'all over here getting your feelings hurt. How dare you, Mike Epps? Maybe he's right. It's a little dusty. A little bit. Maybe there's a little less dust. Because our friend and our colleague, Tory Lowe, did a neighborhood cleanup at 3 different sites around the city. So they went out there and they got the dust. They got a little bit of it. Now, here's the thing. And there's going to be another cleanup. Keep Greater Milwaukee beautiful, clean, green and clean. There's another one coming up, I think, on Wednesday on Earth Day. Okay, we're going to have a bunch of people, a bunch of organizations and nonprofits. They're going to give you garbage bags and little garbage pickers. And you can go pick up the garbage bags and the garbage pickers, and you can just, have them. They're going to give them to you for free. Where if you see garbage around your house and in the neighborhood, you can go and pick it up with the little picker. We're going to have a citywide neighborhood cleanup. X, can you find out when Earth Day is? I think it's Wednesday, maybe. But there's a big citywide cleanup. It might even be bigger than citywide. Can we keep the city clean, though? Can we?
April 22nd.
April 22nd. Thank you, sir. So that is Wednesday. I try to catch people littering in front of my house, but I never do. They're sneaky. Most days I'm home. Depends on what I have to do after the show. But most days I'm home by, 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I'm home in the afternoon. I'll be looking out the blinds. I'll be trying to catch them because I'll say something. I've had to say something before. The other one that I don't like is, I'm going to get racial for a moment. So I know my neighborhood is getting gentrified because white people are starting to walk their dogs in my neighborhood, where some years ago they didn't quite come, I'm going to say, as far east or as far north as my particular block or my neighborhood. And now they're starting to walk a little bit further. They're checking it out. They're exploring. Because I'm real close to the border of Wauwatosa. Same houses, same architecture, built in the same year. But in Wauwatosa, these houses are 25, 30, sometimes 40, 50% more than the exact same architecture in the city of Milwaukee. And you're paying double, sometimes triple the property taxes. So if you don't plan on having any kids, or you're not concerned about sending your kid to an MPS school, or you're going to use the money that you're saving by buying a house in Milwaukee and use that toward tuition for private school, a lot of white families are looking at me and Homer's neighborhood as a potential place to buy. And they're so disrespectful. One day I had to stop myself from grabbing my pistol because they'll walk their dogs and they'll let their dog poop in the neighborhood and they won't pick it up because they have such a level of disrespect for those of us that live here. You had an angel and a devil on my shoulder. It was probably a late 20-something white girl, long blonde hair, walking a golden retriever. In fact, blonde white women look like golden retrievers. Sometimes you can't tell who's walking who. And she let this right on my tree. I said, Lord, please, please, Jesus, please come down and please save me from upping strap on this white lady, which I know would have caused a lot more problems, but I was so offended. And the dog is doing its business, and I see it. I open my door. I'm like, ma'am. Hey. Oh, my God. I was going to get it. I sat there. And they have this thing where they have this little, it's a leash with a little like compartment in it where they have the little doggy poop bags actually inside the handle on the leash. And she picked it up. She didn't want to, though. She seen my big black ass on my boxer shorts and my wife beat her on. She was like, I better not play with dude. Sometimes you got to be careful when you answer the door, because I'm not going to get dressed. Y'all know me. I'm not getting dressed if I'm at home. You get dressed. I'm not getting dressed in my house. It's my house. I walk around butt naked. She was lucky I wasn't naked. But sometimes you got to check, our boxer shorts got that trap door. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that thing ain't thanging.
I'm a brief guy.
You wear briefs. What you wear? No, that's them too tight. No, you got to let that.
Tight.
Nah, you don't. You got to let that thing swing. You know what I mean?
I have bad, swinging around, hit your legs.
You got to let that thing rest on the leg. Got to let that thing dawdle and daggle.
No, I need it nice and tight.
No, I'll be daggling. Don't have me running down the block wearing some gray sweatpants. There'll be a trail of women following me. Oh, my God, he's dawdling and daggling. Look at that print. They call it a print. Look at this print. I can see his print. Yeah, I know. Let's talk to someone who doesn't have a print. Hey, Bob.
Sherwin. Hi. Hello, Sherwin. I didn't know you had dust in your city. I mean, we don't have no dust in Racine, and I've never seen no dust. Dust in your city. I never heard that, too. Sherwin, wait a minute. Now, listen.
Bob, stop before you make your point. I want people to hear, where are you from? Where do you live currently? Let them hear it.
We don't have dust in Racine, and you want Chicago to buy Racine and talk about Racine.
Bob,
I didn't know you had dust in your city.
The entire city of Racine is dust. Racine are the people. that we rejected. That's the only reason why Racine exists, because we didn't want y'all here. We made y'all form a colony.
Okay, sure. All right, now listen. Okay, I have to have 3 reasons why I go to Milwaukee now. 1, to the casino. 2, to find out where you and your supposedly wife eat it, so nobody knows, so I can tell it on the radio. And 3, dust. Oh, man. Now, what I really call for, Sherwin, do you know Sophia Nelson? If you don't know her, you need to ask and have her on your show.
Hold on, man. I don't know no damn Sophia Nelson. Who is that?
Man, she is intelligent. I've seen her on TV, and I wonder what she meant by she was 2 forms of slavery. And that's why I would like to have her on your show one time so she can explain that
I'll tell you about slavery. I don't even know Sophia Montgomery on my show. I don't even know who this woman is, man. You want to hear about slavery? I'll tell you about slavery. And you better hope they don't make it legal again, because I'm going to try to buy you.
2 forms of slavery with one person. I mean, 1 form of slavery, yeah. But 2 forms of slavery, she said she made that specific. And I'm going to be calling in less because, I'm retired. Man, I didn't buy these keyboards to be calling your show and everybody's show on this and play this saxophone. And I gotta eat out and more and play them keyboards more. And so don't think something's wrong with me because I don't call in that much. It's just that I'm retired and I'm going to act like I'm retired. And then it's my last point that Lisa and Mike Epps talked about. I mean, my last point is, I know you haven't seen it, but I want you to see this show, Spook Who Sat by the Door. They announced that on Dr. Ken's show. And Dr. Ken said the book is better than the show, and I don't believe that. That show is good. Spook Who Sat by the Door. I haven't seen that in 40 years. Boy, that is a interesting show, man. And I don't think you've seen it. And so that's my last point. I never heard smoke in a town before. I never noticed smoke in your town. I got to notice that now. And other than that, I would talk to you later. So Spook Who Sat by the Door. Now remember that. Talk to you later, sir.
You're the spook that sat by the door. If they ever legalized slavery again, I would buy Bob cheap. Yes, I would. I would not spend. I'd buy Bob for $84.
You think he'd be worth that much?
No, no. I would lowball him. He said, I ain't seen smoke in Milwaukee. It's dust, Bob. Bob is from Racine, by the way. So look at the pot calling the kettle black. It's so much dust in Racine. If you drive through Racine, you got to roll your windows up. We're going to talk to Sandra on the other side. Sandra, thank you for holding for as long as you did. I'm going to take a little break, Sandra. I'm going to come back to you. Yes, Milwaukeeans, absolutely. These phone calls, there's dust on these phone calls. So far, I'm very dusty. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join the Milwaukee County Office of Equity on Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. for the Story of Wealth exhibition at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Discover how policies have shaped financial opportunities in Milwaukee and learn how we can break down barriers to success. Hear from a panel including keynote speaker James J.B. Bell. This event is free to attend with food provided, door prizes, and great music. So make sure you get there early.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey,
we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, may I ask a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog.
Great. Do you have a pool outside?
Nope, just a big old backyard.
Nice. Another question. Are there any unlocked guns in the home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, let's just talk about what we can bring for dessert.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
If oil gets to $90 a barrel, I'll be able to pay off my house. I think war is awful. It's terrible. It doesn't resolve things. It creates long-lasting hatred and even more conflict that the American people are always going to find themselves involved in.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
But if I don't have a mortgage, you know what I mean? You take the good with the bad. Didn't Donald Trump say he was going to end the wars? You can't have America first if you're involved in all these foreign wars. And there's people that believed him when he said that. He doesn't like wars. He said it many times. Said it on the campaign trail.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
He's bombed just as much in his first year as any warmongering hawk president we've ever seen since World War II.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The question is, Milwaukee, a dusty city? Mike Epps was headlining a comedy tour that visited Milwaukee at the Fiserv Forum on Friday, the We Them Ones comedy tour. There were people that complained about his set. He was reusing old material. He was unfunny. But he made an offensive comment about the city of Milwaukee that was so egregious to some of the concert goers that they walked out of the show. He said Milwaukee was a dusty city. And so I asked you all via our YouTube poll, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app or smartphone device, whatever you got. Search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe. You can vote in our YouTube poll, and the vast majority of people that answered, 78% say Milwaukee is in fact dusty. Dusty like shabby, beat up, run down, dirty, and maybe it's the way the city actually looks in some places. Maybe it's the social climate. There are some neighborhoods where you will certainly see the dust and the debris. We had catastrophic flooding for a number of reasons. There's a whole bunch of factors that came to a head. We do not have a deep tunnel or sewer system that can handle unlimited amounts of water. We never, ever, ever predicted that we would get the amounts of rainfall that we are getting right now. And I don't know why we're getting mad at the engineers of the Deep Tunnel Project, because it quite honestly was over-engineered for the time. But, a lot of people dismiss climate change and the earth is heating up and the polar ice caps are melting, et cetera, et cetera. So we're getting once in 100-year floods several times a year. So we did not have a sewer system that can handle catastrophic flooding that becomes commonplace. But a lot of it is because our sewer grates are clogged with incessant amounts of trash that people are throwing all over the city and throwing in the gutters. So some of our quote-unquote dust and irresponsible, unclean behaviors are causing property damage, and that has a big impact because our insurance costs are going to go up. If there are places that are flooding that didn't used to, because in certain areas, in certain neighborhoods and zip codes, people simply refuse to keep the front of their damn house clean. And if you get a flood, well, houses are going to be much more expensive to insure, and they should be. So think about how irresponsible behavior can lead to more money coming out of our pockets in a city where the black income per capita is like $35,000 a year. Let's talk to a patiently waiting Sandra. Hi, Sandra. How are you?
I am just fine. How are you today?
I'm good. Is Milwaukee a dusty city?
No.
Oh, all right. Good.
And if it's dusty due to the manufacturers' pollution. And, it's a lot of other stuff that pollute the air. They know. And then when I say, I always call and I speak. I speak about the city because I was raised in the city. I went to elementary on up. And we had building inspectors to make sure the little white people in our areas stayed up to par. And we picked up a little paper there. And then we had trash cans where we could take the bottles and we could get cash for them. And that's how we would buy our stuff. We would never steal. And so a lot of the stuff that they can make it where people can cash it in, like the bottles and stuff like that, the cans. And that would help pick up the city, too. But seem like what you have to do, what I have done, I go back to history. I go back to systemic racism. How did Milwaukee get like this? They started in a expressway, Fond du Lac, that one that comes off of Fond du Lac, and that was supposed to be an expressway. They stopped that. They didn't want to do anything to make Milwaukee shine. They want to do everything to make it a dump. And so that's all you hear. Now, people, I watch people come down, but they'll turn probably way off of by St. Joseph Hospital, and then they won't come down up in the city because they consider that. But I live right in the city. I live right on 27th and Burleigh. So I know what's here, and a bunch of empty spots, boarded up houses that they just started trying to regenerate. And so this is systemic. You go through our history, every central city gutted out the same way. Gutted out crime, and that's why I asked you the other day, if people don't have jobs, you're going to have crime. And then them crooked lawmakers that make the law, they're the biggest crooks. Look at that mess up in the White House. And that's what really makes me so upset. And then that Mike Epps, I don't even know who he is. But I do know Tyler Perry came down and did a play. And that's the first thing he did was talk about 27th and Burleigh. He don't even know nothing about 27th and Burleigh. He needed to shut up and talk to me.
Sandra, you don't...
Well, that's okay. I do, too, because I live here.
You don't want to...
I live exactly here, and I've been living here since 71.
Oh, it was
and
nice.
And this is politics.
It was nice.
Yeah, this is politics. That's what it is, politics. They say they have a big overflow of money for the city, but we don't get it here. And so they need us to talk about. They need to talk about our misery. They need to talk about our crime. And that's all you hear. And then when people hear all of that all over, they come to Milwaukee. But my daughter, not my daughter, my sister, she moved out to Grafton. Her kids were in kindergarten, not kindergarten, but they were about 7 years old. And that's the first thing the white people told them, oh, Milwaukee is bad. Milwaukee, I said, well, they never came to Milwaukee. I told my nephew, they never came to Milwaukee. How do they know what it is? No more than what they hear. And it's not good for us because another thing, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. We don't need to work for this city free. They need to start hiring people. They have people to pick up the garbage. They eliminated garbage men. They eliminated dates to pick up the garbage. As always, they don't have no money. But Robin Voss had $1 million staff. And now he gets the best medical care because he had a heart attack. So that's what I got to say.
That's a lot. Thank you, Sandra, for your comments.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. I ain't never in my life heard somebody defend 27th and Burleigh like Sandra. I lived here since 71. Okay. So I just, because I want to know what zip code 27th and Burleigh is, and it's 53210. And so as I look up the cross streets of 27th Street and Burleigh, a news article came up. First article that came up, A 50-year-old woman suffered life-threatening injuries, and a 36-year-old woman suffered injuries at a shooting on 27th and Burleigh. So that's the first thing to come up. But it's 53210. That's the zip code. I can give you a great history lesson, as Sandra did as well, when they butchered and plowed through mostly African-American neighborhoods to build a freeway. One freeway never got built. The other one is 43 going north and south. But please tell me in 2026 what building a freeway has to do with someone throwing litter in the neighborhood in which they live. Is somebody going to eat their bag of potato chips and throw the chip bag on the ground and say, freeway was built? They built a freeway and I'm on the litter. How a community looks is a direct reflection of how the people feel about themselves, how they feel about the neighborhood, how they feel about the social climate, how they feel about where they live. If you don't care, then the litter, I think it represents somebody's inner psychology. Because if your mind is messy, then your surroundings need to match what's in your cerebrum. You can't blame white folks for everything. You can't. In fact, we have abilities and consumer power and political power that we don't know how to use yet. But we can't blame white folks for everything, because at the same time we blame them for everything, we're also asking them to help us. So it's not, and let's not do that. How are we asking for help from people who are still amazed at their own sunburn? White folks have been getting sunburn since they were 2 years old. You ever notice this? Let me take a little sidebar on white people and sunburn, because I'm astonished by it. Like, they'll go on vacation. I'm like, oh my God, Sherwin, look at my sunburn. I can't, look how dark I got. I'm amazed. You're going to get cancer. Like, you're going to give yourself skin cancer and you're amazed. Look, I'm almost as dark as you. That's something us black kids that grew up and went to school with white kids always hear when they go on their fancy summer vacations to somewhere tropical and they get lobster red and then they peel and they blister, which is disgusting. I always thought the white people were freaks of nature, because why does the sun make you allergic? But whatever. And then they get tan. Like, look, Sherwin, I'm almost as dark as you are. And they're amazed by how dark they can possibly get. People that are amazed that they can get tan are not the ones we should be going to for help and restitution for where we live. Because they're just shocked when they get brown. Like, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at how my skin can change color. But isn't that also them admitting that white is ugly? Think about it. I want to get as tan as I can this summer, Sherwin. Hey, do you know that that's going to kill you? Because the sun is going to kill you, because it's going to put cancer on, like, your nose. It's worth it. I don't want to be pale. The number of times that I've heard white people saying that they don't like being pale, like, oh my God, I'm so unattractive, I'm so pale, I got to go sit in a tanning booth and cook myself so I can look more black. But at the same time, boy, you N-words really drive me crazy. But yeah, you're giving yourself cancer to look like an N-word. I've got a very light-skinned aunt. When white people tan, they're darker than my aunt is. But yet, she's experienced racism, which is just, I'm so perplexed by the whites. Oh, being pale is so ugly. Well, then, aren't y'all basically saying black is beautiful? But they're just astonished. Like, oh my gosh, Sherwin. Look how tan I got. And then they get this thing on, I don't want to be mean to white people because I have wonderful white friends, but there's something about white women when they get like 38, 39, like their neck and their chest area, they get like these liver spots and these age spots. And as much as they try to get Botox to hide the age in their face, like they get these like permanent freckles, which are like the precursors to cancer. Stay out of the sun. If I was a white person, I want to be as white as possible. I don't want to look anything like you, N-words. I'm going to relish in my paleness. I'm white and I'm proud. They're like, ooh, being pale is so gross. I want to. Sherwin, I want to be your color. No, you don't. What do you think comes with it? You think because you tan, you're going to be able to dance better? No. You're not going to have any more rhythm. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, where I love all people, okay? I make fun of everybody. I had a Mexican friend of mine get mad at me a couple of weeks ago because I said that, I don't know who I was talking about. I said that like Bolivians are just fancy Mexicans. Oh, he lit me up. Oh, relax. I'm not taking nothing away from you Mexicans. Plus, Mexicans are some of the most racist. Mexicans are more racist than white people because they come over here hating us.
You said Cubans are fancy Mexicans.
That's more accurate.
You're right.
It's crazy. Like, people can say whatever they want about black folks, and we just got to sit here and take it. But, don't let us fire back. Listen, I caught a Mexican lady sleeping on a job. I didn't report her to ICE, which would have been easy. I'm like, hey, ICE, yeah, I caught one sleeping.
Mark Wayne Mullen would have been right on it.
I don't want anybody to get deported because I don't want to have to do the stuff that they left behind. And you know how I'm starting to conceptualize this? So for those of you that don't know, my father passed away from lymphoma on December 27th. And my father did like so much like stuff. He like took care of stuff. He paid the bills and he fixed stuff and he cut the grass. Like damn near until his dying day, he just did like stuff. And now my mother, God bless her. Now, we help her whenever we can, but she's a prideful woman. But she's like, I miss your father so much because he just did, like, so much stuff. Like, he did a lot of the small things, and because he never wanted my mother to be burdened with some of those small things. Like, my dad was the Mexican of our household. We didn't know that. He just did stuff to where nobody else had to worry about it. He did the small things and the menial things, and he'd go and do this and get the snowblower repaired, and he would do all the things and take care of the yard, and he would fix all the things. All the little stuff that most of us would be burdened by. Now, my mother is burdened by those. Oh, I miss your father for so many reasons. But he used to do all these little things, and little things add up when it's just you, when you're just one person. So my dad was our Mexican. Shout out to my dad. He's probably looking down very disappointed. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I travel all around the world, Dr. Ken, and when I tell you, based on my experiences, this is like the number one country that cares. Like, everything is about money. Yep. Everything.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
I've told people in the past, you have to be careful of what you complain about and what you use as a tool, because other people will take it and use it in the wrong way.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th at Franklin Field, featuring live performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. There will be craft margaritas, Milwaukee's best taco vendors, authentic lucha libre wrestling, an exotic car showcase, a Chihuahua beauty patch, art installations, and so much more. Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th. Get your tickets at tacoandtequilafestival.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
And kinda cocky, not too much to make it move. And try to lock me, try to take away the juice. You cannot stop it, gotta understand the rules. I've been the type to wear the heart on my sleeve. Been the one to always choose the wrong play. Not the type to ever see me lonely. I keep my socks on during loving. In and out, baby, in and out, yeah. If I ever fall.
833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. New poll shows the top Democratic contenders for 2028. You're going to love and hate this list. But before we get to that, let's talk to the caller. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
My brother, the rain is over. And, yeah, salute to your dad for raising a cat who gives us 3 hours of very detailed truth, which you should never expect from a comedian. I'm sure he knows how bad the air quality is in Indianapolis, where he's from, and how filthy the river that's right, I think it's the White River they call it, where his family probably still lives unless he's moved a lot of them to wherever he stays. So, not much difference in the two cities, but he's a comedian, and he didn't lie, and you and I remember when it wasn't like that, right?
No.
You don't remember when Milwaukee was a clean city? That's the question I'm asking.
Well, I was born in 75, so the parts that were dilapidated, even when I don't really explore the city until I got my driver's license. There's parts of the city that have been run down my entire life. There's always been dusty areas.
Run down, but people were still picking up stuff, bro. To the degree that he could actually be, he's actually telling the truth. So anybody who got mad is the hit dog you talked about.
But also, you did it, a whole bunch of other people did it as well. They're like, oh, well, look where you're from, Mike Epps. It is very possible to talk about how bad a city is and be... Like, if I go to Chicago, I'm talking
that was comedy
about Chicago. Right? So people they're not focusing on the fact that, yes, we do have dusty, dirty parts of this city. We're saying, well, Mike Epps, where you're from, ain't better. Mike Epps ain't still living in Indiana. He probably got a penthouse somewhere in New York, another one in L.A.
Exactly. I said all of that. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling a joke because he said it as a joke because he knows that many cities have become more filthy because he goes around. I'm sure when he was in the 90s, when he first started off, he was going to the parts of the city that were filthy, like you said, because of his drug of choice. Nobody told him not to go to the lake.
Wasn't he on crack or something?
Yeah. He's on a lot of them, but, there's one particular area that I'm thinking about where the police were letting people sell weed down a whole strip, if you know the block. So I'm thinking weed. I didn't know what else he was into, but, if he was buying cocaine, he was in the filthy part of every city. So sometimes your experience, because he's rich.
Are you in a wind
tunnel? He goes the same place that you go to. No, I'm just outside.
All right.
Let me step in.
Yeah, step in.
Yeah. But, being as wealthy as he is, for example, New Edition was here just a month ago, and Michael Bivens loves Milwaukee. So, he didn't even think about when he drove by dilapidated parts because he probably went to better places than Mike Epps is likely to frequent based on his drug use. So you got to consider the source is what I'm saying.
So do you think that Mike Epps might...
But he didn't lie.
Do you think Mike Epps might have been somewhere deep in the hood buying dope?
I'm certain that in the 90s, Mike Epps was on that street that you probably could name, but we won't name on the air.
Name it. What street would you buy?
I'm not going to name that street. No, sir.
Why? What's going on? I want to hear the street. Well, give me
again, we know that there are certain areas where the police turn their heads for whatever reason. Police turn their heads, probably profit, and I'm going to leave it at that. But he's a comedian. That's why, like, if you think about all that interview with Shannon Sharp that Cat Williams did, later people who he discussed these things with debunked a lot of those theories that I knew immediately were just him doing sit-down comedy while he was drunk. And then a lot of people thought, oh, he blew up the internet, and he did. But he was on there telling jokes. And so I took what Mike Epps said as a joke is my main point.
All right. A lot of people took it seriously, though, but we appreciate your call. Thank you.
Those are the hit dogs, my brother. God bless, man. I hope you get some exercise this week. The rain is going.
All right. Thank you very much. I hope I get some exercise, too. Somebody sent me a link. From WFYI.org. Mike Epps buys his block back for his city and his legacy. Looks like somebody's cleaning up the dust. Usually when you see Mike Epps on TV, he's telling jokes and funny stories. So why is the comedian from Indy turning up on a TV network where hammers are more likely to fly than the jokes? It's because of the new HGTV show, Buying Back the Block, tells the story of Mike and his wife, Kyra, literally buying the block in the Kennedy King neighborhood in Indianapolis where Mike grew up. They bought 6 homes, some of which Mike lived in when he was young, and 2 of which he and his family were evicted from. That's a boss move. Because guess what? We don't got nobody doing that here. Maybe we should take a moment to think about this. Think of wealthy African Americans that are here or from here and moved to greener pastures. How many of them are coming back and buying the block? And maybe there are some. I don't know about them. I think you have the right to call another city dusty if you're investing in the dusty parts of your city to clean up the dust. We don't have that here. We have people that will literally become successful in Milwaukee, or they'll get, like, their fame will start here, their talent will be recognized here. More importantly, they're educated here. Some of them went to MPS. They'll leave Milwaukee, go to another city, blow up in that city, and then tell people that they're from the city they blew up in and not say they're from Milwaukee. That's dust, too, because they don't want to be associated with this town. And for many, many years, it was Todd. You know him as Speech from Arrested Development. That's the name of the group. Because I get it confused with the show. They got the same name. You know they did the song Tennessee. Tennessee, Tennessee, Tennessee. Lord, I really been real stressed. You know that song, Tennessee. Speech was telling everybody he was from Atlanta, even though his mama and them own the oldest black newspaper, I think, damn near in the country. The Milwaukee Community Journal. He didn't claim this town. So Mike Epps has just proven something that we don't do here at all, if very often. People that get rich and wealthy and famous, they're from Milwaukee and they move to another city. They'd rather claim that city than claim this city, let alone come back and invest in it. Do you know if the successful people that are from here that went off and lived somewhere else each came back and bought a block, we'd have this city cleaned up in no time? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Coming with straight truth.
Did you go along with this? Did you plot this out? Did you go into the store with the intentions of causing a negative situation? This is the part that people don't like once they get into court after they get caught. Now, should he be executed for killing somebody he didn't do? I don't think so. He's already serving life. He's going to die in prison. I think that that's what's going to happen. At the same time, this is a message to the younger folks.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
You've been diagnosed with COPD, but breathing seems to be getting harder. Everyday activities, walking to the mailbox, going up the stairs, talking on the phone take more effort than they used to. You're short of breath more often. Flare-ups are happening more frequently. And slowly, life starts to feel smaller. Is this you? If your COPD symptoms are getting worse, there may be options that can help you breathe easier and get back to doing more of what matters to you. That could mean walking further, spending more time with family and friends, feeling more confident leaving the house, and getting back to the life you want to live. If your COPD is changing, it's time to have a conversation with your doctor. Visit the COPD Foundation website at isthisyoucopd.org to learn the signs of severe and worsening COPD and the right questions to ask next. Take action today. Breathe better tomorrow.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Without further ado, let's talk to Al. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing good, but I don't know why everybody acting so pressed about Mike Epps. You know it's dusty. It costs absolutely nothing to walk to the garbage can, and some of y'all done given up and lost y'all pride, but y'all choose to sit on your black trifling nasty ass and throw them MF bags out the window. See, you don't want to clean off your sewer grate because it's too much, but when you got that 3.5, you know how to gel divas to that D. And then let's not talk about when y'all came down here in the 90s to get them 2 different checks, and you was letting the man flood your vessels to get an extra $300, and them crumb snatchers still grew up not to be sugar honey iced tea. But the real question is, why do we got to wait for the white man to come fix it? I mean, he already putting his bottom feeders over here. You got them mop head, bras and panties, Blackfoot prostitutes walking down here looking like Skeletor, trying to sell that snatch with them bed bugs, bungee jumping with parachutes. Y'all don't talk about that. We also have some dusty politicians. If you listen, we calling you out because you only give a damn if it's white. And then we got the people who are living in the neighborhood that's trying to do something to keep the neighborhood clean, but some of them uncouth, trifling ass kids you didn't breed it, that you didn't want to raise, is making it worse. But what we need to do is put together something like a HOH, like some type of group, and if you ain't doing right, take your stuff and get the F out. Because where we're going right now, they're not going to fix it. They already throwing these group homes and these halfway houses. Why you got John Wayne Bobbitt and Jerry Butterfuca walking up and down the street, sitting on a corner on 27 and Capitol doing yoga? This ain't California and San Francisco. Did you ask the politicians that? They fixing the houses in your neighborhood and asking over $200,000 because they don't really want you to buy them. So Milwaukee was not always dusty, because my grandmother grew up in 53206. And even though the neighborhood was going through some changes, they kept it clean. It's this generation of them bastards that you created, them ones that's selling them pills, that's paying your little cheap rent because you can't go nowhere else. That's why you barbecue on the front porch and got that raggedy ass Cadillac sitting in the back with that blown head gasket and that airbag suspension, and then you parking on the front lawn. So you got to get you some pride first before you can play. Is it Dusty? Hell yeah, Dusty. Mr. Hughes, did you know I had a woman walking down the street shaped like a balloon, looking like chitlins, with a mop on her head? She asked me if I wanted to buy some cat. I told her I'm not dyking tonight. And even if I was, why would I buy it from you? You look unhealthy, and you walking barefooted. What make you think I want you to climb in my bed looking like that? Your snatch ain't even clean. And the way it looked like she had a bloody tampon leaking out the back. Come on now. But if we want to change all this, maybe we could start cleaning up around our houses. Maybe we should start calling everybody out. We got potholes popping up like herpes. Come on now, y'all. So let's not sit here and act so hurt and clench our pearls because they talk about us. Because half of y'all trying to get y'all money together so you can move the F out. Because y'all don't want to be here neither. Because every time one of them slumlords come in, you got Anna LaQuisha fighting all day, Mr. Hughes. And then about 10 o'clock, she's sitting up here with two black eyes. But then you go out there and say, hey, don't tell me what to do with my man. You know what? Let her be the ass. See, so this is what we have to deal with in our city. But until we start pushing some people out, and until we got to get on our black politicians too, because y'all sitting up on y'all trifling asses getting stressed marks and skin tags. That's why y'all never come on Mr. Hughes' show, because you know these people will wear your ass out. Just like them bad perms and that man who got 3 inches who's sitting there urinating on you, because he ain't doing too much. Have a good day. Happy Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later, Al.
You think he thinks of that, or is it just like off the top of his head?
Oh, that's off the dome. Yeah, that's purely off of. He's right. That blown head gasket in that Cadillac, the 4.1 liter V8 was not very reliable. Oh, well, looks like the consensus is pretty clear that Milwaukee. Boy, he said a lot. He
always does.
He said, no, that one was chocked full of visual imagery. How do I even pick up? According to a new poll, when asked which of the following people you would consider voting for in the Democratic presidential primary or caucus in your state in 2028, select all that apply. Kamala Harris received 52% of the vote, and Newsom, 40%. Very closely behind was Pete Buttigieg at 39%, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at 38%, and independent Vermont Bernie Sanders at 37%. Bernie's too old. Bernie was too old in 2016. I don't know how.
He's not running, though.
Rahm Emanuel is, though. That's going to shake the race up.
How so? That dude's racist.
Who isn't? If he can win.
No.
He was mayor of Chicago. He was Barack Obama's chief of staff. He ain't that racist. Let's be clear. We gotta make some definitions here. We're not gonna do one size fits all. There are certain black people that everybody hates. Okay? Hear me out. Hear me out. First of all, none of you are required to love anybody. Unless you're like a Jesus person and Jesus loves all of his children. I mean, unless they're gay, obviously. But there are some black people that black people don't like. And if a white person also doesn't like the same black people that we don't like, the white person is racist? Now, it depends on who the white person is. If the white person has the power and the ability to marginalize certain black people, that's not fair. But can we, come on, guys, stop it with, we ain't gonna do that. Like, oh, so-and-so was racist. If you listen to me, you'd think that I'm racist too. There are certain incarnations of human being that can occupy any racial category. They can be in any class, any level of education, any level of income, that are just dirt. You want to know what the best example is? A white dude named Trump. Pedophile, felon, 3 baby mamas, 5 kids, ripping off the American people, starting wars because he gets bored. He's the worst of the worst. If anything, white people should be speaking up more and distancing themselves from him, because let's say Barack Obama was a carbon copy of Trump. Most black folks be like, yeah, he's not with us. He can't sit with us. He's not one of us. So what did Rahm do to make him racist? What did he say? He said the N-word a couple times.
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah, you the one that said he was racist. What do you do?
Oh, I mean, I can pull up some of his policies and some of his past statements, but I don't have it off the top of my head because Rahm Emanuel is clearly not, someone that I'm thinking about all the time. But you mentioned the name, and I could definitely pull up some things when we go to break, though.
Well, hold on, because I'd assume you knew what he did, what his policies were that were racist, but just to call him racist, you got it,
Oh,
he might have been right.
Oh, no, I know some things. It's just, we got World War III going on. We got child pedophiles running the country. Rahm Emanuel is just not on the top of my recent memory bank of statements.
I say this much, X. If he can win, I'll vote for him. Period. I can't have a Republican succeeding Donald Trump. Under any circumstance, I know some Democrats are going to fall in love with certain candidates. Candidate won't be able to win to save their life, but if we love them, we're going to vote for them. Stop falling in love with these candidates, because either way, they don't really care about you all that much, so we need to not care about them that much. There was an emotional appeal to Kamala because she ran on real high feminine energy, but I was like, screw it, I'll join the party. I'll vote for her because I don't want Trump to get reelected.
Well, if he's the nominee, of course I'm going to vote for him, because I don't want J.D. Vance or whoever the next race is going to be, for the Republican Party. I don't want them to win, obviously.
I mean, a little bit of racism's okay. A little bit. You can't be like a Klan member.
I mean, but that's where the party's shifting. Their messiah is Nick Fuentes. I'm on the internet. I see.
Yeah, I know, and that's not always good because it's weird out there and it's not grounded in reality. Because some of y'all get indoctrinated and even radicalized by stuff that ain't real. I was watching a documentary on these, the red pill. There's a name for these
the Manosphere.
The Manosphere podcasters.
I recommended that.
So whether it be the Myron dude who's got the Fresh and Fit podcast, Speako, is that one of the guys? Sneeko is one. There's another one. Sneeko, the guy that's like Haitian and Filipino. Yeah. And it's crazy because these dudes, and then there's a dude from Tiki Taki. HS Tiki Taki is another one. You know what's crazy? They're all either black or biracial. So Myron is freaking Sudanese. He's African. Okay. Sneeko is, he's biracial, and then HS Tiki Taki is also biracial. Get this, they're all misogynistic, exceptionally racist, pro-Trump supporters, hate women, believe in traditional wives, and even goes really, really far with their, I'm misogynist, but not like them. Like, I believe that men have got certain roles to fulfill, and if we got certain roles to fulfill, ladies, you got to pick up the slack. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But they're all black or biracial, raised by their white mamas, and hate women. That's and they're Trump supporters. It's a fascinating documentary. What's it called?
Myron isn't biracial, though. He's full African.
He's African.
Yeah, he's full on. He's first generation African.
But it's racist. Well, they said he was racist, but they didn't really define it. He could be racist. Because what they said in the documentary, because the guy who made the documentary is very pro-Israel, if someone doesn't like, we got to stop this too. If someone doesn't like how Israel is conducting itself, and I'm being diplomatic when I say that, stop conflating. First of all, that's not necessarily being anti-Semitic, because
those dudes are anti-Semitic.
Jesus and Abraham are both Semites. So being anti-Semitic is also being anti-Muslim. So let's get that cleared up. But if someone, and they use it to try and stop people from speaking honestly and honesty about what's going on in Israel. They call somebody anti-Semitic, but they also call it racist. Jews are not a race. They are not a racial classification. In fact, most of the Jews that are in Israel have bloodlines that can't even be traced to that area. They're like German. They're from Europe. So I don't like this loose definition of racism. Like, oh, if you say negative things about Jewish people and Israel, you're a racist. How, Sway? All right, I'm going to take a break, come back, talk about this poll where Kamala Harris leading in the early polling for the Democratic nomination in 2028. She's the Mandela Barnes of the presidential field. Lost the last time, but because people are familiar with her, they rate her higher than the other candidates. Look, Mandela has won statewide before. He also lost statewide, but because people are familiar with him, he's still hanging in there in the polls. He shouldn't even be a contender. We'll talk about that on the other side. And also, is Milwaukee a dusty city? I think we've answered that question. It's dusty. It's a dust bowl. I mean, not all of it. Some parts are freshly cleaned, but other parts, not so much. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until noon on 1017thetruth.com, 1017 The Truth on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube. And it's your mother's favorite radio station. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. Truth Nation, I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. Hey, I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
Now that's powerful.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a city. It's not dusty, by the way, when it comes to the Milwaukee Experience. We talk about the non-dusty parts because we're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals and the plates are piled high with flavor, and lakefront sunrises set the stage for unforgettable days. See, here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring. It's a place that welcomes you with open arms, and joy is shared through cheers and bites of delicious food from some of our soon-to-be Michelin-rated restaurants. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visits Milwaukee. For more information about all of the non-dusty things going on in the city, go to visitmilwaukee.org. That is visitmilwaukee.org. One day I'd love to have a conversation about OnlyFans culture. There's a whole cohort of men 30 and under, never had a girlfriend, never been on a date, don't know how to approach and to talk to women in person. And so the idea of being with a woman, let alone seeing a beautiful woman naked, is something that lives in their minds and on the internet because they don't have the social equipment to approach a woman in real life. And I've been in contact and mix and mingle with this particular generation. Obviously, most of the people that I hang out with are my age because our generation is very specific in what we can and cannot tolerate. And like you can meet these 30-year-old boys, and I call them that because they're not mature, because they grew up playing PlayStation. They didn't go outside. They didn't skin their knees. They didn't do any of that stuff. They didn't climb trees. They don't even know how to shake a hand. Their hands are limp. They don't look you in their eye, in the eye when they greet you and they talk to you. It's terribly sad. And what it often does is it pedestalizes women who sell content on the internet. But the women are the victims too, even though you can call it liberation, you can call it freedom, and yes, she's an entrepreneur, and yes, she's making money. But for her to think that the kind of man that she wants and she desires is ever going to marry her and have children with her is insane. There's a cost. There's a consequence, which a younger generation doesn't really know much about because they have no consequences. Look at some of the content that public school teachers post on social media about your kids. It's frightening. They just sit there. They just sit there because they know no matter what they do, they're going to go on to the next grade. Do you know that in some public high schools, failing is a 19%? If we got a 69%, we failed. They didn't move into the 60% failure until I was in high school. So an A was a 90 to 100%, a B was 80% to 70%, a C was 70 to 60, whatever the scale was. But no, back in my day, you needed a 93 or a 95% on a test or better to get an A. Now the kids they sit there like zombies. Their dopamine is reduced. They just can't wait to get back home and play video games. They don't pay attention. They don't listen. Their parents take the kids' sides. It's so, so bad. But it's a consequence-free culture. And I feel bad for young women that can be pedestalized because they are attractive, because these boys have never been to prom, they've never been on a date, so they'll pay money to see a beautiful woman. And if you can see somebody's butthole for $9, why not? You know? Which is really selling women short. But I guess if you have a whole bunch of guys, a bunch of subscribers all paying $9, that's still $9 for your butthole. But to think that those women, I'm going to do this for a little while, then I'm going to go and then find a man and get married. Okay, and maybe she will. But men also need to understand this. There are some men that paid that particular, now your wife, that OnlyFans model tens of thousands of dollars. Not uncommon, over her career of being an OnlyFans model or quote-unquote selling content. Some women just post on Instagram, hey, hit me up for content. There are some men that they may never meet, may live in another state or another country, that will give that woman tens of thousands, some cases more than that, over the course of however long she's selling content. You think that she's ever going to stop talking to him? You're a new fool. But it's hard to convince young men of that. And you don't have to believe me. Go through her phone. You'll see. And then what they'll do, and X and I were talking about this on the break, if a man dares question who the woman that he is giving everything to, because we love way more unconditionally than they do, a woman will find a better man, or she'll just get bored. If it's not fun, if it's not emotionally stimulating, if you're not surprising her anymore, because over time, the effort that it takes to keep her happy and stimulated and emotionally jarred takes a lot out of a man who's got to be the earner, right? He's got to be the protector and the provider. He is still expected to do those things, but then also to keep her roller coaster emotions happy forever is going to drain him. And eventually he's just going to plateau and just be like, you know what? I'll just protect, I'll provide, I'll work a lot, I'll make a bunch of money, we'll have a happy life. That is not going to be good enough for her. And this is not me being mean to women. This is just how they're wired. They are wired to be what is called hypergamous. They have to get the absolute best man they can possibly get. That's why, like, wealthy men and ball players, 90% of the women want to be with them. But they're only 2 or 3% of the actual men. And to think that a woman is going to sever her ties with men from her past, very rare. But then she'll say, oh, you're insecure. Fair enough. Let you as a man be talking to other women. Oh, no. Go ahead, fellas. Do what she does. Oh, no, that's just my ex-girlfriend. That's just the girl I went to prom with. That's the girl I knew from a long time ago. Your wife, your fiance, your girlfriend will want to murder you. But she can keep and talk to all the men in her past because guess what? Not only are they're stopgaps and fail-safes for her, if it doesn't work out with you, she can go back to one of them, or at least the one that financially supported her when she was in her OnlyFans career. You ain't got to believe me. You will find out the hard way. But I respect the game. Women are the absolute best players. They're so good. They're so good at it. I have to admire the game because they will get an entire community, their family, their friends, to lie on their behalf. This girl might be with another guy. You call your girl, you ain't heard from her in a while, want to know what's going on. Her homegirl will answer her phone. Oh, hey. Yeah, no, she's just in the bathroom right now. So how are you? Yeah, she's in the bathroom, all right. I've seen it, and it ain't pretty. And I think men live in an illusion of love. Not, does it happen? Can people fall in love and be genuine? Sure. But if you have access, not only to everybody you've ever met, but even people that you've never met, especially men, have access to women. And these men, hey, I'll give you $75 for a picture. I'll give you $200. She gets a whole bunch of men that are unloved, that are untouched. These men get no action whatsoever, and they got money. They'll pay these women. Why would that woman stop talking to that man? I'm going to tell you what. If a woman contacted me and said, Sherwin, I'll give you $74 for a picture of your feet, she's going to be in my life for a long time because I'm always going to have feet. Right? And let's say I get a little girlfriend, got a little serious girlfriend. If my serious girlfriend gets to see my feet for free, my serious girlfriend ain't paying me for my feet, but Tina is. I'm going to say, Tina, we have to end the relationship. But Sherwin, we're never gonna meet, and I'm just an internet person. I just want to send you $74 to see pictures of your feet. Fine. Shh, don't tell anybody. Why would I get rid of her? That's money that I can use to take care of my girlfriend, right? I'm not going.
You don't need to get rid of her.
Exactly. I'm just saying women that are on OnlyFans, they will never stop talking to some of those guys. There's some women that they will talk to men that they once were in love with, that they once dated. Oh, he's quote unquote just a friend. BS. If the relationship is over and you plan on being in another relationship, you got to leave those people in the past. But a lot of times they don't because those men represent safety and security. And here's the worst part. This goes for men or women. When your significant other, this is how you know you're cooked. But some of us, as men, we're so starved for love, we tolerate it because we let a woman tell us that us being concerned. Now, remember, we're giving everything to this woman. Our time, our effort, our attention. We're faithful. We're buying her stuff. We're getting her hair done, her nails done. We're paying for dinners. We're doing all that stuff. The least she can do is show respect. You can't talk to no other men. It's the very least she can do for all that she is receiving from us, because we can't even ask her to give us money or pay for things on our behalf. And also, if you lose your job, you're probably going to lose your woman too. But that's just also a part of the game. Just a part of the game. But when she starts talking about you to her male friends, you're cooked. There are things in a relationship that are sacred. What goes on between two people, and I don't even like when people share stuff with their family, because they'll always share the bad stuff with their family but never talk about the good things. So your family, the family ends up hating you because the wife or the husband, men do it too, complain about their wives to their mama, because mamas don't never like their sons' wives, ever. I think my mother met one woman that I dated that she liked. One out of, I've only dated 3 women, so. And the girl that it was in high school. Tiffany. Ooh, Tiffany was a piece of work. Specimen. I met her by calling the wrong number.
Oh.
I was calling my friend Anna, and Anna's number and Tiffany's number were 1 digit apart. And so I'm trying to call Anna, and all of a sudden I heard this person answer the phone. Hello. She had a sultry voice. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, who is this? It's Tiffany. Who is this? I was like, your new boyfriend. And then we ended up talking. Turns out she went to Dominican high school, and she knew a bunch of my friends. Totally random. We ended up meeting at Bayshore. Man, Tiffany had me hooked. That's neither here nor there. My mother liked Tiffany. But, I was 17 years old, and 17-year-old Sherwin wasn't nothing nice. Driving a Camaro, listening to Jodeci. You couldn't tell me nothing when I was 17. If your significant other is talking to their friend of the opposite sex about you, you are getting cheated on, because guess what that person is going to do? Because you think it hasn't happened to me? Oh, my God, Sherwin, you won't believe what my husband did this time. Oh, what'd he do? What? Oh, my God. He did that to you. He doesn't know what he has. I know, right? He doesn't know. When they put that extra vowel sound at the end of that word, then you really know. I know. He's such a jerk. Sure, you won't believe what he did this time. What? How dare he see if I was with you? No, but you ain't supposed to be doing that, though. But I'm just saying. They play the game way better than us. I read a statistic where something like 30% of men have a child that biologically is not theirs. Because the woman, might have slept with, during her ovulation cycle, might have slept with 3 or 4 different men, which they do. And she's pregnant. This is embarrassing for her. She picks the most viable one. Maybe it's his baby, maybe it's not. And most men are like, oh, honey, we're having a baby. Yay, I love you. And he raises the damn baby. You're lucky if the baby comes out looking like the mother. Because if the baby comes out looking like me, then the baby comes up with a little microphone. Hello. Welcome to the program. Goo goo gaga. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink in the garage or down in the basement? Yeah, probably not. So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them the right way. Take hazardous waste to MMSD's home hazmat drop-off centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. Plus, there are 3 locations open year-round for hours, locations, and a full list of what you can bring. Check out mmsd.com. Let's clean up Milwaukee. Because the city is dusty, apparently. That's been the consensus. That one guy, you're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, it's been a minute, Sherwin.
Ain't been that long.
A lot of work.
Been a couple
of trees fell over that storm, so I was working a lot. Couldn't make it to the cleanup, so I apologize. Maybe next year. But
there's one on Wednesday.
All that talk about, well, I'll be working Wednesday, too.
Okay.
So if I get off early enough, I'll try to make it. But, yeah, the OnlyFans talk. That reminds me of the story. So I have this buddy. He lives in Waukesha. It's a whole community of, those side-by-side rental houses. They're, like, a little older and stuff. So, so you can kind of see what I mean. And next door to him, like the house next door, the rental house next door, lives this couple, married couple. They're about your age. They must be going through like midlife crisis or something because they act like teenagers, and their vehicles that they drive are like, the wife drives like a blinged out Harley Quinn street car, and the husband drives like a big old tall look at my Eagle truck. But randomly, just one day randomly, I'm visiting my buddy at his house, and we're outside, just drinking a beer outside, and all of a sudden, this dude's wife comes up, and she's wearing like very revealing like skirt and everything, and just walks past us, and then right behind her, the husband pulls up in his truck, And he's all excited. You guys see that? You guys see that? Here, check out my wife. She's on OnlyFans. Pulls out their OnlyFans account on her phone. Check her out, man. Check her out. Pretty funny to see that.
Dude is a sucker.
What do you think about that?
He's a sucker.
Sounds like he's very annoying, too, because he thinks we like him because he drives past us every time and he revs up his stupid truck. And it just makes them look so stupid.
Are they white people?
Anyways. Yeah, they're white.
What is the address?
But they're from that side of Waukesha, you know what I mean?
Ew. Yuck. Waukesha whites. Yuck. Ew. Grody. Okay.
All right, thank you for taking my call, Sherwin.
All right, thank you. That one guy. I wouldn't want anybody to see my woman naked. I mean, some people get off on that. If you're an exhibitionist, maybe that's what it is. People that they want other people to watch. Whatever their thing is, that's fine. Locked and Lovely says, Sherwin, women who cheat on their man caught all the time because once they tell one of their girls it's out there, not if their girlfriends are girls. Women keep each other's secrets. Big time. All she has to say is that I'm not happy. He's not treating me right. He's getting abusive. And we all may think on the outside looking in, oh, well, then just leave him. It ain't always that easy. If she lives there, they live with each other, they got kids, they got other commitments that bind themselves to one another, and it's really, really hard to get out. People will just find happiness somewhere else. And I'm not even saying that it's a bad thing because it happens so much, but we pretend that it doesn't. There's like a fantasy. Like this world is so detached from reality that when you tell people uncomfortable truths, they get mad at the messenger. When you tell people about what the consequences are, the kids, they don't listen because they don't believe it. Now, do I want each and every one of you to find happiness? Yes, but you define your happiness. Maybe it's getting married. Maybe it's staying single. Dr. Ken said he's in an Uber listening to me. Uh-oh. Shout out to Dr. Ken.
It's a pretty good show today.
It's been all over the place.
I love it.
Kamala Harris is leading in the polls, which means cue up your next Republican for the president. I don't even know if I want to read this story because it's just depressing. According to the poll, when asked which of the following people you would consider voting for in the Democratic presidential primary or caucus in your state in 2028, select all that apply. Kamala Harris got 52% of the vote. Gavin Newsom, 40%. You know what the worst ticket would be? And I like both of the people. And we're going to get an interview with Gavin Newsom. He ain't ready yet, but I assure you when he's ready, because he going to need Wisconsin. And you going to need the black vote. And if you need to talk to sophisticated, educated black voters, come to daddy. You know what I mean? You got to come. 9 to 12 is all me. I'm 9 to 12. You got to come. You ain't going to win unless you come to 9 to 12 now. Unless you're Kamala Harris. She came to 9 to 12 a bunch and she lost a lot. The worst ticket would be Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom.
That's not going to happen.
That's too much.
Kamala Harris is going to fizzle out like she always does. I'm not even worried about it.
Democratic voters are weird, though. They're weird. They do weird stuff. They do weird. They lie. They cheat. They screwed over Bernie for Hillary. Hillary lost to him.
I guarantee when Iowa comes around and it's over, she will be a thing of the past. For sure by South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina might vote. South Carolina is going to, because the primary voters in South Carolina are so heavily weighted black, I don't see South Carolina voters selecting a white candidate over Kamala Harris. Now, South Carolina is not an indicator. You got a New Hampshire primary, which, again, doesn't matter. Of course, you got the Iowa caucuses. And then I don't know what Super Tuesday looks like in 2018. We've had Super Tuesdays where it's like 17 elections on one day. Whatever those states are and however many states we have, because some states have moved their primary election day to be on Super Tuesday so the Democrats can get all their delegates in one shot. Because then they can save a bunch of money because they just campaign really hard for Super Tuesday. Then they can kind of coast to the nomination. But the Democrats also need to reform how they dole out delegates. It's weird. Republicans is easy because Republicans is very simple. You get the votes and the voters and the vote and the voting. And then how you got to get then in the voting. The Democrats are take a fraction of the caucus from a third and a quarter of the precinct level Democratic registered Hispanics minus the Asians plus cinnamon. It's real complicated. So whatever Super Tuesday looks like, and if Super Tuesday is heavily weighted battleground states, that might give you a much better indicator of who potentially could get the nomination. But I don't know. Think about where we're going to be in 2028. Hell, I don't even know where we are today. Is the Strait of Hormuz open? Is it closed? Is it blockaded, or do we blockade the blockade? Are we going to give Iran their $20 billion back like Trump said he would or he's going to open the strait? We know what that basically is. The Iran nuclear deal that Barack Obama had. You know, that's exactly what they're negotiating for. The same nuclear deal that got me crumpling my paper again. X, you gotta have to email me these papers.
I'll laminate them now.
I gotta read this one too. I gotta take a break. Gonna give Iran. We had the deal on the table, and Trump couldn't even do a better deal than the black guy, the Muslim president.
Well, they did have a better deal before they started, bombing them. They agreed to everything. Way more strict rules than the Obama.
You know what? Nah, I just ripped it up. All right, I got it. Am I still going to be able to read that? Yes. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Uh-oh. Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 1017 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime. Because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. See, owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always know they belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors and waving from the porch and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to help. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan and a budget and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying a lot less than what they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home. Milwaukee is dusty. Got a lot of votes in the poll. Over 100. Over 110. Let's get our latest numbers here. 76% say Milwaukee is dusty. I want to read some YouTube comments. There's one that caught my eyeball. I'm not trying to say that men are victims in relationships, not really a city girl, but they can be. Let's not put victimhood. Women are not innocent. Women know that women aren't innocent because women sometimes have a hard time being friends with other women. Tell me I'm lying. Stop me if I'm wrong. I want to tell y'all a story so bad. I was in college. It was a long time ago. I'm taking a risk.
Might as well just tell it.
Yep, might as well. So there was we were living in the dorms. Like, life wasn't real back then. That's not real life. Imagine if what the internet is now, because we didn't have the internet like that. In fact, back then, the only websites was MTV.com and Coca-Cola. There wasn't even a lot of websites, so nobody used the internet like that. But the way our lives played out with a bunch of college freshmen and sophomores that are away from home for the first time, living independently with no curfew, doing whatever you want when you live. I encourage young people to go to college to experience that kind of social living. But it's different now because now people bring guns and shoot up campuses. So maybe not. Maybe my generation had the last pure experience of just
my experience,
the ultimate social interaction back in that day. And there was no cameras either. What you did just lived in your memory or whoever witnessed it. So I was, dating this girl at UW-Oshkosh. And I used to come hang out. She had a roommate. I didn't have a roommate. So sometimes I'd hang out at her dorm. Sometimes we'd hang out in mine. But when we hung out in her dorm, her roommate, who was also very attractive, used to flirt with me a lot. And I brushed it off. I don't blame her. So there was a particular weekend where a buddy of mine had a party at a party house. And the girl that I don't know if you even call it, whatever you do when you're in college. It's not dating. You're not in a relationship. You know what I mean? You hook up. We hooked up. That's what I was doing with this young lady. Well, she went home for the weekend, but then her roommate happens to be at my guy's party. Sherwin, I always thought you were cute. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Thank you. But I'm involved with your roommate. Sherwin, she's totally talking to other guys. She's still dating the guy that she was dating when she was in high school. I was like, oh, what? And then that kind of broke my heart a little bit, but I'm not shocked by it. I'm like, oh, well. And then the roommate said to me, oh, what are you going to do about it? She's probably hanging out with him right now because, she went home for the weekend. The dorm, it's just me in the dorm this weekend because she went home. She's probably with the guy that she was dating in high school. She's probably with him right now. What are you going to do about it? I was like, I don't know. She's like, no. What are you going to do about it? I said, I don't know. What are you going to do about it? Yes!
Bust it open. Get you some.
Got it. What do you want? I'm a young man. I was like 20. What do you expect from me? What do you want from me? What am I supposed to do?
I don't think you did anything wrong.
I did not.
Sometimes you got to live life to the fullest. Experience all you can.
I was a very good student. I got 3.0s or higher. All right, what have we learned today? The 7-year-old wasn't kidnapped. Probably the best lesson we learned.
Yeah, that was really good.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned for clips of that on social media coming to an Instagram near you. Milwaukee is dusty. Mike Epps made y'all mad. Whenever someone calls our city dusty, we look at how dusty their city is like it's a competition. Like, oh yeah, well your city is dusty too. I did a Chat GPT comparison between Indianapolis, where Mike is from, but also let's give Mike Epps some credit. He's buying his block. He bought houses he got evicted from, bought the house he grew up in. He's revitalizing the neighborhood that a lot of us call dusty. There's no wealthy Milwaukee black folks coming back and buying up our blocks. Not that I know of. But he's actually doing something about it. We're just dusty for no damn reason. But we compare our place to their places, but it offended an awful lot of people, and it shouldn't have. Because we do complain about some of the undesirable aspects of our city. Instead of shooting the messenger, maybe we should say, wow, maybe there's something to that. Maybe we can take more pride and humility and ownership in our very own neighborhood. So we learned about Milwaukee's dust. Bob called in, and Bob is from Racine, so you can't ever say nothing about Milwaukee. Racine is where we expel people to that we don't want, so at least we're not as dusty as them. What else we learned today? Kamala Harris is leading in the polls, so that's pretty cool. Imagine Donald Trump running for a third term against Kamala, and he beats her again. That would be totally our fault if that happened.
I don't think he's going to be able to run after this.
We've said he wasn't going to be able to do a lot of stuff. We also said that a pedophile shouldn't be able to stay in office, and it's almost like it didn't happen.
Yeah, isn't that kind of crazy?
Very. And I can bring it up 6 ways from Sunday, and it almost wouldn't make no damn difference. So thank you guys for tuning in. We do this every weekday, Monday through Friday, streaming on YouTube and probably a whole bunch of other places as well. Thank you for listening and tuning in, and maybe I should sign up for OnlyFans. I'll see you next time.
Come in with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family's name look bad, your neighbor from down the street, if they see the son or daughter, be like, what are you doing? They gonna call you out. They gonna let you know that they saw you, and then they gonna tell you, come here. Now you know